Now, the Conservatives are facing another by-election after the MP Scott Benton announced that he's going to resign. He'd been sitting as an independent after he was found to have broken lobbying rules following a newspaper sting. He had the whip removed. He had been elected as a Conservative MP for Blackpool South in 2019. Let's bring in our chief political correspondent, John Craig, for more on this. Afternoon to you, John. So Mr Benton's going to resign, and we're facing another by-election.
Yes, this Mr Benton was currently going through a recall petition after the Standards Commissioner and then the Standards Committee threw the book at him over his lobbying sting. He was boasting about lobbying for a gambling concern. It turned out to be journalists from the Times newspaper. And Tory MPs were pretty furious with him for causing the party so much trouble. The recall petition, a system under which if you get 10% of the electorate call for you to go, you're out. The last time was Peter Bone, 13% called for him to go. That triggered the Wellingborough by-election. But he's gone only a couple of weeks after the 6-week process began. Now, Blackpool South, held by Mr Benton since 2019. It was Labour from 97 to 2019, but before that, it had been a Tory seat from the Second World War. Mr Benton's majority, 3,690. Well, that is very much a marginal seat. A big Leave seat, 67.8%, almost 68%. Now, Labour will have high hopes of taking this seat and winning another by-election, another seat from the Tories. Will George Galloway's Workers' Party stand? Mr Galloway, after his Rochdale triumph, has been talking about fielding candidates in North West England. Hasn't mentioned, as far as I'm aware, Blackpool South yet. The timing of this resignation suggests that the by-election could fall on the 2nd of May, the day of the local elections. The key part of quite a long letter of resignation from Mr Benton is where he says, a Labour government would be catastrophic for our country. I'm mindful of giving a new candidate the time and space to campaign to prevent that from happening, and it is for this reason I've made this decision at this time. Labour have been campaigning up there for weeks and months. I remember at the the Labour Party conference in the autumn, they were already talking about the by-election in Blackpool South. It is the 23rd, it will be the 23rd in this Parliament. I'm not sure that's quite a record, but it's a pretty high number of by-elections for all sorts of reasons. We've had scandals, we've had Boris Johnson quitting, we've had some of his allies like Nigel Adams and Nadine Dorries quitting. And we've had some well-loved MPs like Cheryl Gillan from the Conservatives and Sir Tony Lloyd from Labour dying, triggering by-elections as well. But all the signs are probably May the 2nd. Labour will hope to capture this seat. Given some of the big swings they've had in recent by-elections, Labour will be odds on to win this. But you never know if Mr Galloway were to put up a candidate. Strange, given that it's a big Leave seat, might that hurt Labour? Remember the Hartlepool by-election a few years ago? That was a big Leave seat. Labour lost a safe-ish Labour seat to the Conservatives. You can never take anything for granted in a by-election, but Labour will be odds-on favourites to win this by-election. Now Mr Benton has gone. He has tendered his resignation today, and the by-election circus moves on to Blackpool South, the seaside resort, and the last by-election was in Rochdale, so we're going from Gracie Fields to George Formby.
Fantastic stuff. John, and just quickly, you said May the 2nd, same day as the local elections?
Yes.
Excellent stuff. So I'll be looking forward to that. John Craig, really appreciate it. Thank you.